The Prime Minister has announced the Australian Defence Force will be deployed to help recovery efforts in the New South Wales flood zone. More than 500 properties have so far been declared uninhabitable, but there are fears thousands more have been seriously damaged or destroyed. Anthony Albanese, who will visit flood-affected communities tomorrow, says the ADF will play a major role in the recovery.
From tomorrow, we will have 70 Australian Defence Force personnel on the ground in the Mid North Coast, helping with recovery, helping with clean-up as well. As well as that, there'll be a team from Disaster Relief Australia, 25 initially. There'll be 100 personnel from DRA on the ground by the end of this week to provide assistance.
More than 200 interstate responders will also join teams on the ground to help relieve the pressure from 2,500 volunteers. Supplies are set to arrive today after all lanes of the Pacific motorway between Kupanook and Purfleet near Taree were reopened yesterday.
Today, very much our focus is on resupply into communities, particularly up and down through the Hunter, where we've seen this morning the communities, places like Hinton, get resupply operations in the early hours of the morning. That will continue, and for people that need support, we ask you to call 132 500, because if we don't know about it, we can't help you.
Reporter Chloe Shemicki has been talking to flood-affected residents in Port Macquarie.
Well, thousands of people are still isolated this morning, days after the weather cleared, but we are hearing recovery centres are coming online in the worst hit communities. Taree will be the first to see a recovery centre open tomorrow, and that community will be followed by Port Macquarie, Kempsey, Maxville and Maitland. Now, these recovery centres will be able to provide new documents, replace documents that have been lost in floodwaters, legal assistance, insurance support and help with claims too, as well as mental health support. We're hearing of the mental health toll on people who have lost everything, particularly around Taree, multi-generational farmers who have been reduced to just one paddock in some cases, considering whether they need to walk away from it all. And speaking about those isolated communities across the water here at Port Macquarie's North Shore, we were there yesterday, so they were cut off for days since last Wednesday due to the ferries being out, including this one behind me, which cable snapped during the peak of this flood. Over there's a real struggle to clean up all that mud that's settling in without supplies. So the resumption of services is very welcome there, and cleaning up supplies with volunteers that can come over now is a massive help too. Now, we've heard from Prime Minister Anthony Albanese this morning, who has announced more Australian Defence Force support that will be on the ground to help people clean up, but also other disaster response teams who will be coming into these regions by the end of the week to help with the cleanup. And the PM himself will be visiting the Mid North Coast from tomorrow. So there is still a long way ahead, but we are seeing supply chains starting to ease up, communities like Taree starting to get some fresh produce in for the first time with the reopening of the Pacific Highway yesterday. And we also have 109 schools reopening in New South Wales.